Blessings, namaste, and love, everyone. I'm spiritualist, psychic, astrologer, and medium Ray Sette. I thank you once again for allowing me this opportunity to share with you my astrological and spiritual insights. And in this segment, we are looking towards the month of September 2021. As I always mention, we are moving very, very quickly through this unprecedented year, and we always inspire to recognize how spirit, the universe, source, the higher power, the higher realms, the higher beings, however that might resonate for you, always offers us the opportunities to employ the tools such as astrology provided for us, always from a place of love, so that we may continually choose to recognize how we are very much creative beings, how we certainly are the masters of our destiny. And these tools, again, such as Astrologer, provide for us the platforms to create our realities. Even more so when we understand how to craft these energies and how to work with the universe, become co-creative with the universe, and bringing to form all that we choose to experience while we are here on Earth plane. I'd like to begin by highlighting a unique alignment that will be taking place on September 2nd, and the exact time of that alignment is 1:43 p.m. and that's Eastern Daylight Time. At that time, there's an opposition, which is a full moon alignment when two elements are opposite one another, as well as a auspicious placement from Pluto to that opposition. The opposition is between Mars and Neptune, and Uranus forms a harmonious aspect to Mars as well as Neptune. What I'm going to suggest, and to just keep it very simple, at that time, dedicate that time to be in meditation. And what is extraordinary about this alignment, it's an opportunity to receive powerful information, downloads from spirit, the universe, the higher realms, specifically regarding what is unfolding in our world during these unprecedented times. Over the years, I have always lovingly shared my insights as to what is occurring, and I always inspire everyone to allow yourself to recognize your own personal insights and higher truth in whatever form that might be. There really is no wrong or right to any of this. It's more about understanding and recognizing what serves a greater purpose for us, not only on a personal level, but for the highest good of all and all of humanity. That moment, as I said, it's an auspicious opportunity to really receive some profound and what I refer to as evolutionary, and that's that Pluto element, insights and understandings. One, as to what is occurring, what is unfolding, especially on a spiritual level in our world at this time, during these times, as I've mentioned, of the apocalypse and revelations, which denote to reveal and disclose, not destroy. Also, if there's anything in your own, on a personal level, if there's anything in your own lives that you are questioning, perplexed about, employ that opportunity to receive alternative insights as to anything that may be troubling you in your lives, especially on a personal level, and allow yourself to receive whatever spirit feels would serve the greater purpose for us on a personal as well as a collective level. I always suggest to allow spirit to share with you what it feels, or rather what it knows will lovingly serve a purpose for us. Remember, whenever we work with spirit and we ask for guidance, I always suggest to allow yourself to be open and receptive to any possibility which may exist outside of your realm of consciousness. Remember, spirit has the ability to see the bigger picture. It can see so many more options than we could possibly observe in our limited human thinking mindset, physical form. And when we allow ourselves to be very receptive to the alternative insights, that provides Spirit the opportunity to share with us the grandness of its knowing. When we work with Spirit this way, we need to be very aware to remove ourselves from the ego and allow Spirit to share. And when we set that platform, we elevate our frequency, and then Spirit is permitted to share with us some very profound insights that, as I said, we might necessarily contain in our realm of consciousness. I always suggest keep in the realm of possibilities that which you may not think is in the realm of possibilities. Just be open and receptive. We never want to, as I've said many times, tell Spirit how to conduct its blessings, and to always allow and consider, keep in the realm of possibilities, all which Spirit shares with us. So at that moment, as I said, on September 2nd at 1:43 p.m., that's Eastern Daylight Time, dedicate the time to be in a place of meditation. And even if you feel comfortable doing so, just ask Spirit to share with you whatever Spirit feels as though will serve a greater purpose for you, and the bigger picture, that will also serve a greater purpose for the highest good of humanity. If it resonates with you, perhaps light a candle at that moment, light a white candle at that moment. Actually, I take that back. I suggest light a candle at that moment if it resonates with you. And if another color resonates with you, then you embrace that as well. More so, I suggest do not allow that opportunity to pass you by. Now, we are approaching our next new moon, and that will be on September 6th. And I always suggest to recognize the lunar phase leading up to the new moon, which is the balsamic phase. That is the very last stage of the lunar cycle. It's the opportunity to clear, cleanse, purge, release, and to prepare, energetically prepare, and set the stage for the coming lunar cycle. The balsamic moon phase begins on September 3rd, and that will take place at 4:28 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That remains in effect until the new moon. That is the auspicious opportunity to energetically prepare for the next lunar cycle. During those days, we step back, we retreat, we go within, we reflect, we pray, we meditate, we clear, cleanse, and purge, and energetically prepare ourselves for the coming lunar cycle. Now, the new moon in September is on September 6th, and it's at 8:51 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Eastern Daylight Time. A couple of things. This new moon triggers the energies and whatever was taking place at the June 10th solar eclipse. It's a trigger point. Just as I mentioned in my last video, the August 22nd full moon was a trigger point for the May 26th lunar eclipse. It also begins to stimulate and activate the energies of the November 19th lunar eclipse. This new moon on September 6th is a trigger point for the June 10th solar eclipse, and it's preparing us for what will come together during the next eclipse season, the next solar eclipse, which will be on December 4th, 2021, and that's a total solar eclipse. So at this time, just reflect on what came together for you in June, because the 3-month time frame, it activates that energies, and it's a push forward. It's a time to advance with whatever came together for you on the June 10th solar eclipse. Remember, some of us will feel the energies more so than others, and it is dependent upon the exactness of the alignments in your charts personally. At this platform, I can only at best share a generalized understanding of all of this, and unless we're working directly individually and looking to see exactly how it's all aligning in your charts, we share this information as a point of reference. I emphasize recognizing what Spirit is showing you regarding the energies and the influences. If you're aware of what is coming together for you in December, what perhaps may be commencing for you at that time, this new moon, it's a time to prepare for that. And as in the days leading up to the new moon, which is about 3 or 4 days, depending upon the month, it's generally about 3 or 4 days. As I mentioned, it's the balsamic moon, the clearing, cleansing, purging period to prepare for the next lunar cycle with a solar eclipse. We're offered a little bit more time to prepare, and generally it's about 3 months before the event, which we are at that point with the September 6th new moon, September through December. That is the opportunity to prepare for whatever is coming together for you at that new moon in December. Remember, a regular new moon, if you will, begins a lunar cycle on a month-to-month basis. A solar eclipse, because it's an intensified lunar moon, it's a concentration of energy. It prepares us for a longer cycle of experience. Many times it's 6 months. Sometimes, depending upon, again, the alignments in our chart and the exactness, it can last up for many, many years. So as I said, these next 3 months, it's preparing us to begin a new chapter in December and to clear, cleanse, and purge whatever that might be. Now, in general, our new moon on September 6th, it's in the sign of Virgo. Virgo, among many things, represents wellness, well-being. Certainly during these times, we are inspired to really recognize how we are the masters of our destiny, of our physical as well as mental well-being. Virgo represents wellness, healthcare. Virgo is a sign which also represents healing as well as nurses. I've always, whenever I meet with a client who is in the nursing profession, I always share with them my understanding that the nurses truly are the healers in those realms. We also have the ability innately to heal ourselves. The body was designed to heal itself. Perfect example. Just observe what happens if you get a paper cut. You just leave it alone and it heals itself. On a bigger scale, when the physical form is maintained properly, I have to add maintained properly, because it is required for us to support the physical form and its innate healing abilities in order for it to perform its functions properly. When the body is allowed and permitted to heal itself, it will very much do so. And I always inspire everyone to explore these understandings. Remember, we need to properly support the body's functions physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually so that it does operate at its highest vibrational potential and frequency. So this is another opportunity to really become the master of your destiny, of your own personal wellness, and whatever that might be. Remember, there's no wrong or right. It's whatever resonates with you on a personal level. And we inspire you to recognize those many blessings. Virgo, because it's the second sign ruled by Mercury. The first sign ruled by Mercury is Gemini. The Virgo Mercury energy at its lowest vibration can be very, very, very critical. And sometimes, we can be very destructive, self-defeating with that energy. That's a low vibrational frequency of that element. Virgo also connects with another low vibrational element, which is fear. The opposite of Virgo, which we are always also inspired to connect with, the opposite sign of a particular element during certain times, as at a new moon, which is Pisces. Pisces is the one that represents complete knowing and trust. It's absolute faith. And whenever we employ the courage to move out of a place of fear, we employ and embrace faith and trust. Remember the Virgo Pisces polarity. Virgo and Pisces are opposite elements. The lower vibration of that Virgo is fear. When we move past that, we connect to this higher vibrational frequency, the Pisces energy, which is absolute, complete faith and trust. At a higher vibrational frequency, when demonstrated in positive ways, Virgo can be extremely methodical and analytical. If sometimes it's over analytical, then the thoughts run amok and it doesn't necessarily serve a purpose. But that ability to be very critical and analytical in positive ways offers effective, high vibrational problem solving solutions. And because Virgo is an earth sign, we suggest always remaining anchored and grounded to the energy of the earth. Many times when that Virgo energy, it's not grounded, the energy of the mind, the thoughts just completely run amok, and that certainly does not serve a greater purpose. So we always suggest to recognize, to employ the energy from a higher vibrational, anchor and ground yourself with the energies of the earth. At this new moon, I suggest embracing the knowing that you are the master of your destiny regarding your physical wellness, and employ whatever resonates with you to fortify that desire and to bring it to form. Neptune does form somewhat of a wide opposition to the new moon energy, the sun and moon coming together in Virgo. Again, the opposition, it's a full moon, is when two elements are opposite one another in the heavens, which that Virgo-Neptune opposition can, at a lower vibrational frequency, bring forth what potentially may be debilitating fear. But whenever fear comes to the surface, remember, it's an opportunity to release the fear because it doesn't serve a purpose for us anymore. And in order to release an element which doesn't serve a purpose, we need to become aware of it. That's what a full moon energy, full moon alignment will bring to form. It will permit us to be acutely aware of something taking place so that we can engage in choices, whether to continue on with whatever it is we're being shown or release it. So this is another opportunity to just release any deep-seated fear, which once again may be interfering with our wellness and well-being. And I certainly suggest to be mindful of a collective release of fear and discordant energies in the outside world, especially during the time of these next 3 months leading up to that eclipse in December, which I referred to earlier. And this is all part of supporting and maintain higher vibrational wellness, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Our new moon on September 6th is certainly an auspicious opportunity to embrace all of this into your consciousness. We then have our full moon on September 20th, and the exact time of the full moon is 7:54 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Now it's interesting how that Neptune energy is very much once again energized at this full moon. The full moon is at the late stage of Pisces. It's at 28 degrees of Pisces. And you've heard me mention many times that the last stages of a degree, the last stages of a sign, are referred to as the critical degrees of the sign, which very simply stated indicates a turning point. Now the full moon in Pisces on September 20th is within 6-7 degrees to the Neptune element in the chart. So that moon is energizing that Neptune energy, which is in the sign of Pisces. Pisces, as I mentioned earlier, represents unshakable faith, trust, and knowing. It also does represent deep-seated fears, because Pisces in the astrological chart is connected to the 12th house. The 12th house is the sector of the chart that represents the subconsciousness. That's where the deep-seated fears reside. So once again, as we move through September, it is an auspicious opportunity to release all of this, to be aware. Is there any fear which may continually or still interfere with what you desire to truly experience? Is it interfering with your wellness, with your joy, your happiness, your prosperity, abundance in all forms, not only monetarily? And the full moon chart, which is cast for the United States, does energize that 12th house sector. So collectively, so much discordant energy is being released. And so that we are not overwhelmed or inundated with this release of energy, we always suggest recognizing the tools available to keep yourself shielded and protected of this discordant, of these discordant experiences. Remember, all of this is serving a purpose far greater than we may imagine. What I began this video with at that alignment on September 2nd, again, just to reiterate and to reflect back on that, it's an opportunity to receive higher knowing, clarity as to really what's going on out there, especially on a spiritual level. All that's occurring right now, simply stated, is a spiritual evolutionary shift towards higher levels of consciousness, oneness, brotherhood, universal love. You know, we've heard for many, many years regarding the age of Aquarius. It was during the 1960s when, with that song, which stated, "This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius." That began the commencement of this golden age. And we are still in that dawning of that glorious time. It may not necessarily be for a while. Now, based on my own calculations as an astrologer, I believe I saw that date as the year 2165. Now, by stating that, it certainly does not suggest that before that time we can enjoy this golden age, this time of oneness. Certainly, as we continue progressing through these times, we will be given great glimpses as to what all of that may appear to be and how it may all come together. And the solidification, the foundation of the age of Aquarius is really what's coming together during these times. And as I said, we don't have to wait till 2165. I mean, I certainly know I'm not going to be here. Most of us won't be here at that time. And what I emphasize to recognize, we don't have to wait until then to really enjoy this. We're laying the foundation, and very soon we may certainly be enjoying so many of these blessings. Now, on September 22nd, we have the autumn equinox. That's when the sun moves into the sign of Libra. And that will take place September 22nd at 3:21 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Libra is the sign which most represents nature and the natural world. It's ruled by Venus. Venus, the planet of beauty. Just observe nature and the natural world, how there's beauty everywhere. Also, one of the most auspicious elements of Libra is the element of balance. Look to nature. Nature innately understands how to create balance whenever or wherever there may have been imbalances. We as individuals can certainly embrace the same and experience this exact same blessing, especially where the physical form is concerned. So much of this is way too vast to properly articulate in a video, so I always suggest exploring. If this resonates with you, if these seeds of inspiration that I plant during these videos, if whatever resonates with you, continue exploring these alternative insights and embrace whatever truth may resonate with you on a personal level. As the sun transits the sign of Libra, we're inspired to connect with nature. Also, we are approaching the colder weather, the winter months, we are also inspired to begin bringing nature into our home. Bring those natural elements into your home, whether it be plants, crystals, rocks, whatever that may be. As we move through the winter months, it appears as though there is a stillness, that perhaps things have died, for lack of a better word. However, remember, during the winter months, much is taking place beneath the soil. And for us during the winter months, we inspire you to go within. We always inspire to go within. During the winter months, we inspire even more to go within. This Libra time begins the preparation phase for the winter months. Bring nature into your homes. And when you can, go outside and connect with nature. As I said, nature does innately create a balance. It's also being in nature. We will experience healing effects. We connect with spirit. Spirit is very present in nature, in the natural world. And as the sun transits the sign of Libra, certainly that is the opportunity to recognize these great potentials. Remember, all the planets, all the signs have high vibrational aspects to them as well as low vibrational frequencies. And when we understand as to how to properly craft this energy, employ this energy, then it permits us to co-create what we desire and really serve a greater purpose and bring forth in alignments whatever it is that we desire into the physical world. So I may have digressed on a few things during this video, so thank you for bearing with me. Once again, I'm spiritualist, psychic astrologer, and medium Ray Sette. I have confirmed my dates with the new moon. I will begin my next experience there on November 15th, and I will be there through November 30th. Both centers in Fort Myers as well as Bonita Springs have my schedule. We're already filling up with appointments, so we don't want to wish the time away too very quickly, but I am always so very excited as well as blessed and very much in a place of gratitude for these experiences, to come to these places and just meet with everyone on a personal level. Until then, I will continue sharing my insights through these videos on my websites. So once more, I thank you, remain in the light, and always in a place of love. Many blessings. Namaste.